Welcome to sportsbookraeview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your home for baseball. South Korea, KBO, and the Japanese NPB. Struggling. It was a struggling day yesterday. We went overs, they went under. We went under, they went over. There was a few dodgy comebacks and a few teams that can't even get on the scoreboard. But before we go to Jason, who will then resurrect our record this week. If you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. If you ring the bell, then that means we can notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And if you go into the link in the description, then you'll go over and you can read Jay's articles. And he may even throw in a little bit of bonus CPBL. Do you remember that? CPBL, but now we're KBO and we're NPB. Jay, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. It was a weird morning, like you said. We actually had a lot of leans on the money line, but we didn't actually go with them when it was time for our picks, our official picks. So it was a weird day in that retrospect. But we got lucky with a nice win by the Yomiuri Giants. They were down 5-1, came back 7th, scored a couple runs, 8th, 9th had a 2-run shot to take the lead 6-5, and won that game. So made things a little bit easier and a little bit better, calmer this morning after that one.
Yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing, because you might go for a lean and someone else already fancied that one, and you going for that lean pushes them over the top and gets them to press the button. But you do what you do. The people at home will do what they do. And I'm sure that we're all going to come out on top. Now let's kick straight on. KBO, South Korea, the Dinos and the Bears. The Dinos put their foot on the Bears a little bit last night.
Yeah, it was a close game until the Dinos had a couple of bunts that got them the lead, and they never looked back after that, with some errors by the Doosan Bears. This one's an interesting game. I don't have an official play on it. I'm going to go with Doosan minus 140 as a lean. Also lean towards under 10.5. You look at Choi Sung-young of the Dinos. He's got a 6.75 ERA and an 8.36 FIP. So right there, you're looking at him like, wow, he's a really terrible pitcher. Going up against Raul Alcantara, who's got a 3.7 ERA, a 3.86 FIP, and already dominated the Dinos in his first matchup against them. So it looks like a big victory for Doosan, but here's why I'm going to stay away from it. Is because Choi Sung-young, he's been really bad the last couple of in this season. But if you look at last season, his numbers, he only had like a 3.8 ERA, something around that range. He wasn't nearly as bad. So while he's been really bad to start the season, I don't think that that's going to continue. I do think with Doosan Bears at home, they don't normally perform as well at home. So I do think this game will be a lot closer than people realize. The Dinos obviously coming off a 9-run performance against Doosan in the first game. It's a tough one. I like Doosan. Obviously, the pitching matchup favors Alcantara. But honestly, Choi Sung-young could put up a solid performance. That's why I would stay away.
Okay, the next one's the Twins and the Wyverns, and SK getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, what's with the SK Wyverns and the Hanwha Eagles? They're both offensive powerhouses over the weekend. It's been crazy over the week. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. On paper, this looks like LG's game. But LG, they don't have 3 hitters in their lineup that are all injured. And obviously, they're struggling to score runs. They just had 0 runs in this matchup against Jian Wook, he restarted his career this year, but before coming back into the league, he was awful, and he had a no-hitter into the 7th inning against the Twins. So, on paper, it's LG's game, but with Ricardo Pinto on the mound for SK, I would probably lean towards SK plus 100 to get the job done in this one. Also lean towards under 9.5. Jung Chang-hyun's on the mound for LG. He's got 3.34 ERA and a 3.64 FIP. So he's been really good, but so is Pinto. Pinto has performed well against the worst offenses. And right now, LG Twins would classify as a bad offense, just how it is with 3 guys absent. So, yeah, SK plus 100 is a lean, under 9.5, but this one, staying away from LG Twins until they get their bats back.
Okay, and what about the Wiz versus that powerhouse that are now the Eagles?
Yeah, you know what? People are going to start buying into this. With Hanwha Eagles are back, Hanwha this, Hanwha that. Not this time. I'm going with KT minus 180 as an official play. Also, you can look at the minus 1.5 for KT. William Cuevas is on the mound for the KT Wiz. If you recall, he was injured for an entire month, came back just last week, pitched 7 innings of scoreless baseball, looked phenomenal in that start. So while he has a 5.05 ERA and a 4.64 FIP, I think he'll perform a lot better, especially against the Hanwha team that's not very good. Yeah, they performed well, whatever. They're not that good of an offense. Clearly, Cuevas is one of the better pitchers in the league, and he looked really good in his last start. They'll go up against Kim Min-woo of Hanwha. Min-woo has allowed 20 runs in his last 5 games, and we know that the KT Wiz offense can get hot at times. I think this is the perfect time for KT Wiz to get hot. Min-woo has 5.36 ERA and a 5.68 FIP, so I'd also lean towards over 5.5 for the team total of KT. I really think KT Wiz will hammer it down on the Hanwha Eagles on this one.
What's the team total on KT?
It's 5.5.
Okay, 5.5, and we like a piece of that as well. Now, the Tigers and the Heroes. The thing is with these two sides is flip a coin, see which way it comes, and yet you're not getting flip of a coin prices.
Yeah, I mean, Klwoom, they were on an 8-game winning streak. They just lost finally to Kia and my guy Drew Gagnon. It was his birthday this morning or last night, whatever you want to say. But it was actually his birthday. He got the win on his birthday, which was really awesome for my one of my Mets pitchers. So, but I think that Klwoom is going to get the job done in this one. I'm going to have an official play with them. Klwoom minus 150 to get back in the winning column. I'd also lean towards under 8.5 in this matchup. Eric Jokic is on the mound for Klwoom. He has a 1.63 ERA and a 3.19 FIP. He's 6-2 on the season. He lost 2 games previously before his last outing, and then he looked right back and performed well. In his 2 losses, he allowed 2 unearned runs in both those games. So if you take out the unearned runs, he would not be 6-2. He'd probably be 8-0. And he's pitched really well. The Klwoom offense has looked really good. They even scored 6 runs this morning when they weren't supposed to score many against Kia with Gagnon on the mound. They scored more against the bullpen, but still, I like Klwoom. Their offense has been really good, and they have one of the best pitchers in the league going for them. He'll go up against Yang Hyun Jung of Kia. Yang Hyun Jung, he was really good last year. He had like a 2.3 ERA. This year, he's struggling a little bit more. Has a 4.88 ERA and a 4.49 FIP. He struggled in his last 2 starts, allowed 10 runs in those 2 starts. I think he gets back to performing well, but Klwoom's offense has been really hot as of late. So I think Klwoom will score enough runs to win this game with Jokic on the mound. His nickname is the Joker, and we're going to be the Joker's going to be Kia after the game.
What's the total in the game, though?
The total is 8.5.
We're going to go over that?
We're going to go under. I think that there's going to be not too many runs in this game. Again, Yang Hyun Jung, he's performed pretty bad in his last 2. But before that, he was pretty consistent getting quality starts. And Jokic has been really consistent throughout the entire year. Has a 1.63 ERA. So if he allows 1 or 2 runs, then you're banking on Klwoom at least scoring 6 or 7 runs to get the over. I would go under 8.5 if I had a lean.
Okay, just a lean. And the last one is them pesky Lions versus the Giants.
Yeah, we just saw the Lions finally beat the Giants at home. The Giants were on like a 7 or 8 game winning streak at home. Finally lost in extra innings. Again, Dan Straley was on the mound. He didn't get any run support, pitched well enough, and didn't get the win. Of course, Samsung came on and won 6-4 in extra innings. But I'm going to go back right with Lotte here with the Giants at minus 160 as an official play. Also, I would lean towards under 9.5 in this matchup. Adrian Sampson's going for the Giants. He's got a 5.96 ERA, but his FIP is just 3.69. So he's really been unlucky going. I think going up against Samsung will be a little bit easier for him. And he had his best outing in his last start, a shutout game where he went 6 or 7 innings in that game and allowed no runs in his last start. By Yu Jung Hyun of Samsung has also the 5.34 ERA and a 5.57 FIP. In his first 3 games, he was god-awful. And then in his last 3 games, in his previous 3 games, he was really good. However, he's allowed 7 home runs in 6 games. And he's been getting a little bit lucky with balls in play. So I think Lotte will have the answer at home. I think Sampson will hold it down, and I think that Lotte will get the job done. So an official play for the Lotte Giants at minus 160. Also lean under 9.5 in that matchup.
So under 9.5. Okay, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to shake it up a little bit. So we've done the KBO there. Give me your official plays in the KBO, please.
KBO, we're going to do an official play with Lotte Giants at -160. The KT wins against the Hanwha Eagles at -180. You can also look at -1.5, but I'm going to play it safe. And then also, we'll take the Klwoom Heroes at -150 against the Kia Tigers.
Excellent. So that's KBO's official plays done. Now let's go for the NPB. We're going to start in the Pacific Division, and it's game 5 of 6. Only 2 more days to go, 2 more games, and then they can move on to different opponents. And we're going to start with the Marines and Buffaloes. Marines got the edge in an 11-run thriller.
Yeah, the Marines, they haven't lost to the Buffaloes yet. I think the Buffaloes are getting a little tired of the Marines in the 6-game series. So you have to you just have to go with the run that Lotte's on right now and to go with the Marines at -175 in this matchup. Seiki Tajima of the Buffaloes, he had a 3.24 ERA last season. He allowed 1 earned run in his last start, but 3 walks and only had 3 strikeouts in that game for the Buffaloes in his first game. But then you're looking at Atsuki Chunichi of the Marines. He turned his career around. If you look at his rookie season, he was really bad, and then he performed a lot better in his 2019 season. And 2020 season, he looked just as good. He had 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk, allowed 1 earned run on 6 hits in 6 innings in that first start. He looked pretty good, and right now, Orix, the Buffaloes, they're just hitting .222 on the season, and they also have one of the worst team ERAs in the entire NPB. So I like the Marines to get the job done at -175 as an official play.
Okay, and what about the Eagles and the Fighters?
Yeah, this one's a really tough one, but I'm going to have to lean with the Rakuten Eagles at -160 and also lean towards over 8 in that matchup. Yuki Matsui is going for the Rakuten Eagles. He was a relief pitcher last season. So it's really hard to know where he's going to be able to sit beyond just that first start. His first start, he only went 4 innings. He was taken out of the game after allowing 6 hits and 1 earned run, had 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. But if he stayed in for 9 innings, he would have allowed 13.5 hits in that game. So he was getting hit pretty hard in those first 4 innings. But then on the other hand, Takayuki Kako of the Nippon Fighters, he also just lasted 4 innings in his start and had allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, had 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. Also, if he would have stayed in for 9 innings, he would have allowed 11 hits in that game. Kato, he went 5-7 last season with a 3.52 ERA. So right there, you can kind of tell that Nippon didn't really score when he was on the mound with 7 losses and a 3.52 ERA. And then the Eagles, on the other hand, they're just performing a lot better right now. Their team ERA is 2.43, and Nippon they're just hitting at a batting average of 216. So it's a close matchup. I think the Eagles have a little bit of an edge there in both hitting and pitching. And when the matchup is pretty similar in terms of the pitchers, you look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that the Eagles are the better team.
Okay, and the last game in the Pacific Division is the Lions versus the Hawks. 7-4 in the last game. Are we looking at over 10 again?
Yeah, we don't go under 9.5 in this matchup. My official play would be SoftBank Hawks at around -115. I took the SoftBank Hawks when they won their 2 games. I laid off of them in this one. Then they lost to the Selbu Lions, which I thought might have happened. Now I'm running right back to the SoftBank Hawks, and I think they're going to win this one as well. There's 2 solid pitchers on the mound. Tsuyoshi Wada is going for the SoftBank Hawks. He's a veteran pitcher. He's getting up there in age, regressing just a little bit, but not regressing enough. Had a 1.42 ERA after that first start. Allowed just 1 earned run. Had 7 strikeouts and 3 walks on that game. And then Wataru Matsumoto was going to go for the Selbu Lions. He allowed 2 earned runs, had 5 walks, and just 4 strikeouts with a whip of 1.26. So both these guys had performed decent enough in their first starts, but like I said, the walks are a big issue for Matsumoto. Right now he's averaging 5 walks per 9 innings and has a career ERA of 4.42. Both teams are averaging around 230 on average. Both teams are averaging around team ERA of 4.50. That's why the line is pretty close connected, but Wada's a better pitcher. He had 7 strikeouts in that first outing. He looked on point in that outing. I think he'll be able to perform against Selbu in this one. I think SoftBank Hawks as an official play at around -115 will be a good one.
Yeah, I think it is a good one. I like that. They're having the official play. Now, okay, as we're mixing it up, get your pens and papers ready at home, or just make sure that you revisit this. NPB, Pacific Division, what were your official plays, please, Jay?
The official plays were SoftBank at -115 against Selbu Lions, and then Lotte Mariners -175 over the Orix Buffaloes.
Excellent. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go to the Central Division now, and we're going to start off with the Swallows and the Giants. Another tight game and another total that reached 11.
Yeah, I got to give it up to the Giants, man. They had me shaking all morning. They got the win. I was relieved because I would have went 1-5 on the day. Now I went 2-4. I had a little bit extra on that game as well, so that made me a little happier this morning, especially with that game finishing up one of the last games too. Made me a little bit happier this morning to get back to work this morning. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Giants at -140 and also lean towards over 9.5 in this matchup. The Giants are going to pitch Kazuto Taguchi. Taguchi's a former reliever. He relieved last season. So, again, who knows if he'll be able to go deeper than 5 innings in the start. He only went 5 innings in his first start, allowed 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and 4 hits in those 5 innings. And then Yasuhiro Ugawa for the Yakult Swallows is going to go. He went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, had 6 strikeouts, and no walks, which was really nice from him with allowing no walks. But, again, Ugawa, if you look at his last season numbers, he was 4-12, had a 4.57 ERA, and allowed 5.13 runs per 9 innings with unearned runs involved in that stat. So the Giants, they're hitting the ball pretty well against the poor pitching of the Swallows. Their bullpen didn't get the job done, and Ugawa didn't get the job done last year at all. The Swallows had one of their better pitchers go yesterday. A veteran pitcher that just kind of was able to just kind of figure it out. But Ugawa was not going to be able to figure it out. And I like the Giants here as a lean at -140, lean over 9.5 in this one. It just scares me with Ugawa. His performance in his first start was pretty good. Just looking at his career numbers, not very good. So I'm staying away from the game, but I do think the Giants will win as a lean.
Okay. Next game up is the Dragons versus the Carp, and the Carp look like they're half decent and they could go the distance.
Yeah, I'm all the way with the Carp here. The Carp will be an official play at -160. And I also even recommend, and this is a lean, but I'd recommend even over the team total for the Carp at 4.5 in this matchup. Kazuki Yoshimi for the Dragons, he's going to be going. He performed pretty bad in his first start. He allowed 3 runs on 6 hits in 5 innings pitched, had 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. But if you look at his 5 starts last season in the league, he played most of his season in the minor leagues. But when he did come up to play in the Central Division, he played 5 games at a 6.41 ERA. He struggled really badly in those games. And Hiroshima, like we've talked about, one of the better hitting teams in the league. They're hitting .282 this season in terms of average. They have a league-leading 12 home runs in the first couple of games on the season. Hiroshima looks really good. This is a really exciting matchup here. It's just Yoshimi has not been looking good at all in any of his starts last season or this season in that one start. And then Tokoda for Hiroshima has a career ERA he has the ERA of 2.96 last season. So he performed really well last season with 2.96 ERA. So you're looking at a 6.41 ERA and a 2.96 ERA. We're going to take a 2.96 ERA, and we're going to hammer Hiroshima at -160.
And go over 4.5 team total?
It's a lean, but I'm actually thinking about double dipping because why not? I think this is the one to double dip.
Do it. It's the weekend, Jace. Live a little. And the Tigers and the Baystars.
So the Baystars right now, they've been really impressive as of late. I don't think they were supposed to be this good, but they're hitting really well, and Hanshin, they're hitting really poorly. So that's why it's been such a lopsided series so far. Michael Peoples is on the mound for the Baystars. This is his first season in the league. He performed really well in his first start. We were weary about his first start, what it would be like, so we didn't take him in that game. But he struck out 7 batters, walked just 2, allowed 1 run on 6 hits in 6 innings. He looked really good, and he'll go up against Yuta Iwasada of Hanshin. He allowed 3 runs and 4 hits in 6 innings, struck out 5, and also walked 4 batters. Again, like I said, Hanshin hitting 193 on the season, and their team ERA is close to 5, one of the worst team ERAs in the league. So when you're hitting 193 and your team ERA is near 5, not good results. Like they have a couple import hitters like Justin Bohr. Justin Bohr is a former Marlin and Angel. He's hitting under 100 for the season so far. He was supposed to be that prize import hitter for the team, not performing at all for the team. So, yeah, I would lean towards the Baystars at minus 1.5 at plus 102. Also lean towards over 8.5 in that matchup, but it's not official play at this time.
Okay, so the official play in the Central Division is what?
The Hiroshima Carp at minus 160. And potentially the over team total for 4.5. I'll talk about that on Twitter if I end up taking it. But
he will.
Yeah, I might end up on this one because the Hiroshima is definitely going to be our banker for the day.
Excellent. Okay, so I don't even need to ask you for your banker. So listen, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. You ring the bell, then we will notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And it's not just baseball. This is a good opportunity for me to tell you that you love your sports, you love the videos that we do here at SBR. We also do soccer videos. I say soccer for the Americans, and I say we do football videos for the rest of the world. Now we have La Liga, which is Spain. We have Bundesliga, which is German. We have the Premier League, which is England. And we have Serie A, which is Italian football or soccer. Go over, have a look at them videos. They're enjoyable. But I tell you what, there is plenty winners, just like Jay's been giving from a whole host of experts. Jay, have a great weekend. We're going to start again on Monday. Hopefully we have full 5 videos. We have no gremlins in the against any of your work. And we maybe, if we're fingers crossed, we might even go live. Jay, have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Jason Radowitz. Now, I appreciate all of your support. Please remember, thumbs up on the way out for Jason. And that just gives me that little bit more ammo when I go and see the bosses and say, we want to continue doing these baseball shows. Have a great weekend, everyone. May all your bets be winners. And I'll see you again on Monday. You take care.